think everyone's mostly in from the waiting room, so we will get started. If you are not muted, please go ahead and mute yourself. We will have a Q&A at the end, or you can ask questions in the chat. To begin, I'd like to introduce myself and the Lair team. My name is Mike Yaley. I'm the General Manager of Pinecrest Operations for the Cal Alumni Association. Joining today from the Lair team is Kathy Connolly, who's our Senior Director of Pinecrest Operations. We've got Joshua Dobson, who's our Director of Operations. We have Michael Day, who's our Program Manager for the Lair Reservations team. We've got Kelly Seck, who's a coordinator in the Reservations Department. And we've got Mike Gardner, who is the Lair Business Development Manager. So we're here to answer your questions, tell you a little bit about the Lair of the Bear. I'm going to walk us through Kathy and I are going to walk you through a PowerPoint presentation. And then, like I said, please feel free to put questions in the chat, or at the end, if you want to unmute, we'll take as many questions as folks have. All right, so welcome to the Lair of the Golden Bear info session, our first info session of 2024. Oops. So what is the Lair of the Bear? The Lair of the Bear is owned and operated by the Cal Alumni Association, and we're the oldest of all Alumni Association family-owned family camps in North America. Typically, we'll have plus or minus 10,000 campers in a given season. We started in Pinecrest in 1949. We actually just having our 75th anniversary and our 76th summer in Pinecrest. We have 3 separate but contiguous camps, Camps Blue, Gold, and Oski. They're all located within a mile of each other, and they run along the North Fork of the Tuolumne River. And we reside on public land in the beautiful Stanislaus National Forest. There's a picture of one of our camps and some of our accommodations. Where is the Lair? The Lair is in Pinecrest, California. We're at about a mile high in elevation, 5,600 feet, 150 miles basically due east of Berkeley, about 3 hours in the Bay Area. The nearest big town is Sonora, which is 30 miles to the west of camp. And we're 1 mile from Pinecrest Lake and 2 miles from Dodge Ridge ski area. Some pictures, a picture of Pinecrest Lake. So here's some pictures of our tent cabins. They can hold families of any size. We have different sizes, small, mediums, and larges. They come equipped with bed frames and mattresses, what we call little cubby shelves. Each tent cabin has an overhead light and a 2-plug outlet. There's some more pictures of the tent cabins. Some people go a little bit crazy with their decorations. We also have some new year-round cabins at Camp Oski. Each cabin has its own private bathroom, heat for when we use them in the non-summer months, mini fridge, microwave, and more are part of that. Sleep up to 6, queen bed, a bunk bed, and a loft. They're available for bookings, for weekend stays. We have various stays during this winter. We've got a couple of groups coming in the spring. When you come during that time of the year, it includes linens and bedding and delicious meals. We're 5 minutes from Dodge Ridge Ski Resort. And we have 15 cabins available in this winter program, but they're also available to rent during the summer. Here's a picture of our winter operation. We've got some snow coming in the next 2 weeks, it looks like. Picture of the inside of the cabins. So, for family camp in the summer, who attends the Lair? Our campers range in age from newborns to 90-plus years old. Typically, in a given year, more than 80% of our campers return, and we welcome about 1,000 new campers every year. Many are not Cal alums. You don't have to be a Cal grad to camp at the Lair. We are a private or a nonprofit organization, membership organization, so we welcome all. And if you book by February 28th, you have your best chance of getting your preference for a session and tent location. Some pictures of some families. So what does the Lair provide? We provide the accommodations, the 10 cabins that I showed you, 3 hearty meals a day, programs for all campers or for campers of all ages, including arts and crafts, swimming, hikes, shows, family activities. We have a health and wellness program with yoga. We have guest speakers. Many of them are Cal professors. Um, Basically, anything that you remember from summer camp as a kid, we do for the whole family at the Lair. We have age group programs where we watch your kids to give parents some me time. And then we have nightly entertainment in the form of campfires, talent shows, guest speakers, musical performances, sing-alongs, and one of our signature events, Disco Bingo. So our age group programs are daily activities led by our staff for kids ages 2 to 17. The Cub Corral, which is our youngest kids, is for diaper graduates through kindergarten, and that's more of a traditional daycare where we check your children in and out, and it's a little more enclosed. But that's a great place to start. And then the older kids enjoy staff-led activities such as scavenger hunts, horseback riding, and activities at Pinecrest Lake. Gold panning, it's always a favorite program. And then we also have a full schedule of activities for adults too. So while the kids are being watched, you can enjoy a yoga class, take a hike. You can do pottery or tie-dye in our arts and crafts areas, play pickleball, which is extremely popular, and we've extended our program extensively in the last 2 years. Tennis, volleyball, basketball, all kinds of sports. You can go kayaking at the lake, stand-up paddleboarding at the lake, you can go to the pool, or you can just hang out, read a book, and do absolutely nothing. Some pictures of our hiking and our yoga program. Also, plenty of time to enjoy quality time with your family. You can partake in any of the programs we offer, enjoy the pool or tie-dye together, archery, play basketball with the kids, and all of the nighttime programs are intended to be, family affairs. Pictures of archery, arts and crafts, tie-dye. It's very Berkeley and very traditional at the Lair. And so who works at the Lair? We have 150 plus energetic, creative, team-oriented, outdoor experienced, kid-loving college students. This summer, we anticipate about half of the students will be from Cal, and the other half are typically made up of students who grew up camping and go to other universities, but they were lifelong campers at the Lair and always wanted to work there. Some pictures of our staff. Some shots of the shows and the stages. The pool, perhaps the most popular attraction in all 3 camps. S'mores, can't go camping without s'mores. Sports, all camps have their own facilities with one exception. Camp Gold has a softball field that all 3 camps share. And you can take a hike in our gorgeous backyard. Like I said, we're in the Stanislaus National Forest, but we're also right on the border of the immigrant wilderness. So we have a tremendous hiking program where we take campers out into the beautiful California wilderness. Or you can just relax and camp and play your guitar, take a nap in the hammock. There's something for everybody. So when is summer camp at the Lair this year? Our family camp runs weekly from June 15th through mid-August. We have 7-night stays. You come in on a Saturday afternoon and you leave the following Saturday morning, with the exception of our week 10, which actually ends on Friday morning. So it's a 6-night stay. We also have all-inclusive family weekends with programming. We have adult and special interest sessions, which include sports and recreation camp in early June, our women's wellness weekend towards the end of August, our adult food and wine experience in the middle of August. We have our college prep camp, which has been very popular right after school gets out at the beginning of June. And then the Bear Music Fest, which is a professionally run music festival the weekend after Labor Day. And we also do host some private groups every year. We have limited availability because of our family camp and adult sessions, but we do weddings, private events, corporate retreats, and other festivals aside from the music festival. Just some pictures of our adult sessions. And I know this is a lot, so we'll take plenty of time to answer questions at the end. And at this point, I'm going to hand it off to Kathy, and she's going to go through some of our frequently asked questions. Kathy?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we get this question a lot. Do you need to be a Cal grad to camp at the Lair? And would it be strange to camp at the Lair if you're not a Cal grad? We welcome all, so you don't need to have any Cal affiliation to camp at the Lair. We ask that one member or one person per tent be a member of the Cal Alumni Association, because the Lair is a member benefit of being a Cal Alumni Association member, and that's a $75 annual membership. And that has other benefits as well as camping at the Lair. But we have so many campers who have no Cal affiliation, who love the Lair, have a good experience. And as shared here, we only have a few people on our team who are Cal grads. So a lot of us just grew up coming and didn't go to Cal. Mike, can you do the next slide? Yeah, thanks. How do I book with friends to get in the same week? When you make a reservation, there's a spot on the online booking site that says you can enter a group name. So come up with a group name for the families that want to camp together. And there's also a box, special request box, and you can list information and say, we really all want to camp this week and want to be near each other, and any other information you think would be helpful, because we read every note that comes in through that system. So feel free to share a lot of information, and you can also write to us or give us a call beforehand if you have questions or want to know what your best bet would be to pick a session that you would all get in together. We're happy to chat with you on any of those kind of things. What's the difference between the camps? If you've never camped before, we do a pretty good job of placing people in the camp that makes the most sense. Usually it's based on the ages of your kids, so that we get you in the camp that has a lot of kids that match the ages of your kids. But basically the difference between the three camps is that Blue and Gold are the larger camps. They host about 350 campers per week, and Camp Oski is a little bit smaller and has about 175 campers per week. But all three camps have their own facilities, their own staffs, and they run nearly identical programming. So they all have a pool, they all have a place to eat, they all have sports courts. So a lot of the things are very much the same between the three camps. Camps Blue and Gold, because they're larger, there's a little bit of friendly competition that goes on between campers. They play sports tournaments and games against each other. So Oski doesn't offer that, but Oski has the 5 fully enclosed cabins that have been a fantastic addition. So if those campers that want a little more creature comforts, to have a bathroom in their unit and have heat and other amenities, a cabin, there's a surcharge for it, but it's a little more upscale version of the Lair. What's the difference between a week-long session and a weekend session? So most of our sessions during the heart of summer are the week-long sessions. They begin on a Saturday and end on a Saturday, except for 10th week, which will end on a Friday. But the weekends are usually a 2-night, or for Labor Day, a 3-night. And they basically are the same kind of experience, except just shortened. So we still provide meals, we have activities, we do arts and crafts, we do disco bingo and campfire shows, and we do the age group programs over a weekend stay as well. So you can drop your kids off at the Cub Corral or at their age group and get a little downtime. So it's very similar, just shorter. We often hear that people think there's long wait lists for certain weeks, and it's a rumor. We definitely have flexibility. If you have flexibility on which weeks you can attend, we are almost always successful at getting you a tent in a session that works for you. The best bet, though, for sure, would be to come week 2, which is June 15th through 22nd, or week 10, August 10th through 16th, because we didn't host a week 2 last year, so most of the campers that week will be new. And we're offering a 15% discount for new campers for both these weeks. So we would love you to come one of those 2 weeks if that works with your kids' school schedules. The heart of summer week 6, 7, 8, and 9, traditionally are a little bit more booked, but it's still, we have new campers every single week, every session of our summer. So it's definitely worth putting that down if that's your preference and that's when you can come. So we always suggest when you book, you select your top preference and tell us what you would ideally like and what you are good with if that first choice doesn't happen. And if we can't get you what you want, we refund your deposit 100%, or you can stay on a wait list, and we do get cancellations. So if you can stay on a wait list for something that you really want, we often make that happen for you every summer. Life is too short to not be part of this fun stuff. So I hope you'll all join us this summer. And again, the reservations team is here to answer any questions. Reach out to us through that email address or give us a call. We can share more information. And obviously right now you can ask any questions right now.
So feel free to unmute and ask a question if you'd like, or if you want to just put a question in the chat, that works as well.
I'll
Yeah,
unmute.
go.
And the question I had, because I found it a little confusing when I looked on the website, is about costs. And we were contemplating possibly a three-generational group. We've never been, I'm a Cal grad, but I've never been to the camp. And thinking about ourselves, our kids, and two grandkids. So there might be a total of 7 people. And just curious how cost-wise that works. Is it per person? Is it per cabin, or what?
Yeah, great question. So at Blue and Gold, because of the nature of the cabins, we have small, medium, and large cabins. It is per cabin. So the price per person obviously goes down the more people you put in the cabin. But a 2-person cabin is typically 2 people. That's our small. Our medium is typically 4, and our large is typically 6. You can, have variations close to that. At Camp Oski, because we only have large cabins, the price is per person. So it's priced differently. So it really just depends how many people you want to put into a cabin to determine your actual cost. If you want to put all 7 of you in a large cabin, that would be the most cost-effective way. But if you wanted to have more privacy, you could rent 2 or 3 cabins, depending on what your family situation is. Does that answer your question?
Well, it answers in terms of some elements, but how would one figure what that cost might be if there were the 7 of us there for a week?
Yeah, Kathy, go ahead.
Our website has a rates page, and I can put that in the chat, and so you can see by week, because it's priced differently depending on which week. So, and also if you want to reach out to us directly through email and tell us the ages of adults versus kids, how many would be coming, we could actually do the full math for you and make sure we get the right amount so you know exactly what to expect.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go through the chat here. We got some questions. If I had kids range 15, which camp would you recommend? This is where our reservations team is really going to be helpful to you, to reach out to them individually, because they can tell you, they can look and see which week has the most kids in that similar age range, and then make a recommendation based on that. So it varies year to year and week to week. So please reach out to them directly, and they can help you specifically with that question. Are we allowed to stay outside the week-long stay, arrive and leave different dates other than Saturday? You can, but you pay for the whole week. We do, on a case-by-case basis, do some limited partial stays, as we call them, if we have availability. If we don't have empty tents, we don't do that. Again, this is a good case where you should reach out directly to the reservations team, and they can point you to maybe some weeks where we might have some flexibility to do a partial stay. We have a 9-month-old. How difficult is it to have babies along? It's a great question. It depends. It's not the easiest, but that being said, we have people do it every year. Quite often the winterized cabins at Camp Oski are a good solution for people with infants. But it's really depends on the family if you feel like that's something that you're up for. It certainly happens every year. And a 9-month-old is difficult no matter where you are. having 3 children myself, there's always something going on. So that's really dependent on the person. I'll go to the hands raised after I read these questions. When do you find out if we get a spot? So if you sign up by February 28th, it's our priority booking. We have a very specific way of placing campers who camped last year, place people who are on the wait list. We have a prioritization list. We shut down the system after February 28th for a week or two, and Kathy and her team kind of put the puzzle together. And by mid-March, Kathy, is there a specific date, or is it basically mid-March?
March 14th. And
so March 4th. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and if there's something like you're specifically looking for, if you want, again, to reach out to us in advance, maybe we can't tell you the exact tent, but we can tell you what week. So if you need to plan ahead for other camps or other vacation plans, let us know. We can tell you what the likelihood is that we're going to get you in the week that you're looking for before that March 14th date.
Great. And then, so question, we tried to get in for several years when our kids were young, but no luck. And thus, that's the reason we have this this reputation of not being full or not being able to get people in. That was the case 20 and 30 years ago. So our kids are grown and they're now living elsewhere. You want to know about the adult camps, how hard it is to get into food and wine and sports and rec camp. We absolutely have room in both of those for you. So reach out to the team and we'll help you get into whatever the adult sessions you want. Has the camp been partially affected by wildfires, smoke in the past? Is there a cancellation policy if the air quality reaches hazardous levels? Yes and yes. We definitely get affected by that. And basically, we have a smoke policy. If certain thresholds of air quality are reached, and we have a purple air monitor on site, and there are several in the area, we will make a decision to close camp. If we decide to close camp based on our air quality policy, then refunds become something. If you decide to leave because you don't have tolerance for the air quality and we haven't canceled based on our policy, then the cancellation is on you. We highly recommend that folks get trip insurance because of the fact that we do live in the mountains and wildfire and smoke are a real possibility. So again, the team can answer a lot more specifically questions about the insurance, but we do have policies around smoke. Let's see. My only regret is not taking my daughter sooner, but now we have babies, so we're not wasting time. Love the Lair. Oh, thanks. I'll be in a master's program during my week. Is there any internet access at the lodge, or is the cell service decent? Former Camp Blue camper. All right. We do have internet service. It's good, not great. It's getting better. The cell service is hit and miss. Verizon tends to work the best. AT&T, Sprint, not very well at all. But if you absolutely need internet, it usually works fine, but we can't guarantee it's going to be amazing. But we're working on it. And it's a bandwidth limitation. It's all wireless up there. There's no conduit, no cable that runs to camp. We're a little bit remote. Someone's asking about dietary restrictions. We didn't talk about it, but we do a great job. We have a meeting the first day of camp with our head cooks and our dining hall host. And you're able to say on your reservation form what dietary restrictions you have. But we do a really nice job of working with individual campers to make sure that their dietary restrictions are met. And we see a lot of different things. And then Hayden, you've been very patient. You have your hand up.
Could you address a little bit more about how group reservations are handled? For example, if 3 family puts in a reservation and hopefully get into a certain week in Camp Oski, and there's only room for 1, does that 1 out of the 3 family gets it, or the entire group doesn't get it?
Kathy, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, we would work with you on that. So we would either, depending on what the situation is, meaning what tents are open, if we can get you, if you're okay, that we can get you in different tent circles, we work with you on it. We would contact you and say, here's what's going on. We have these 3 tents open. They're not right next to each other, which I would assume you would want. Are you okay with that? Or can you come this week where we do have the tents available in Oski for the 3 families together? We would call you, so you won't have to be surprised on March 14th to find. We would never just put one family in and the other 2 not. It's that if you make it clear that you're a group, we'll make sure that you get in together, and we'll contact you if we have any questions or have a situation that doesn't meet what you put down as your request for the tents.
If it doesn't meet our request and we decide to withdraw, are we still able to get the full deposit back, or is it past the deadline?
Yes, as long as we would have talked to you before, and if we say that this is what we can get you and you say that sounds great, then you're officially quote booked. But if you're unhappy with it when we talk to you, then you can say we're going to pass and we would give you a full refund.
Excellent, thank you. And then is there a minimum age for horseback riding?
Yeah, I think 8.
I think it's 8. Yeah, that's an outside vendor. We go to an offsite location. So it's their rules, and I believe it's 8.
Okay, excellent, thank you.
Yep. Someone asked if we can share the presentation, and Kathy, we will have it on the website, correct? Yep. So you can go to the website and see it. And we actually did one in December, which I believe is already posted, and it's the same deck.
We'll put it up tomorrow probably, but I can send a link to everybody who's on this call.
Asking if there are any medical staff on site. Great question. We contract with a third party. We have EMT on site every day from 8 a.m. to midnight. And then we have a nurse practitioner. She's on site 5 days a week. And we have a medical clinic at Camp Gold that's for all 3 camps. They do a tremendous job. And if there's a need for 911, the first responders are actually in Pinecrest. They're about a mile away, so they respond quickly. So we have a very good medical situation. What age ranges are each group? Our kids are 8, 10, and 12. Which ages are together? Okay, you're testing my skills here. So we go by grades, not by ages. So our Cub Corral is for kindergarten and below. Our teddy bears, I believe, are 1st and 2nd grade, and somebody on the team help me if I miss one of these. Our golden bears are typically 8, 9 years old, so 3rd and 4th grade. And then our cow bears are preteens, so 5th through 7th, I believe. 6 through 8. You can see all this on the website. And the reason I'm faltering with this is because we changed from age groups, from age ranges to grades recently, and everyone who's worked at the Lair for a number of years is still getting used to the new names of the grades. And there you go. Josh just put it in the chat.
And yes, grade going in.
Yes, the grade going into, so rising 5th graders or rising 6th graders, etc. And we're totally flexible. If you have an 8-year-old that wants to be up or down with a cousin or a friend, we're very flexible. There's no hard and fast rules of who's in what age group. All right. What else? These are all great questions. Anybody else?
I have a question if it's okay.
Oh, go for it.
We were looking potentially at Camp Oski, but the payment is per person, not per cabin. What does that mean?
Yeah, so at Camp Oski, we only have one size cabin. There are large cabins. So we don't charge per cabin, because if you're only 1 or 2 people, the cost would be prohibitive based on our per cabin price at Blue and Gold, where we have small, medium, and large cabins. So at Oski, you just pay per. So there's different prices based on the age, and that's on the rates page on our website. Does that make sense?
Yes, I guess what I'm trying to understand is if there's 3 of us, does that mean that we're going to be sharing a cabin with someone else?
No. All cabins are individuals. Yeah, good question. The only shared spaces are the restroom and shower facilities, and there are a number of different buildings in each camp where those are available. But the sleeping quarters you would never share with anyone else.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep. Anyone else? Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, we're a little confused. I've registered my wife and myself, and then my two daughters and their husbands and their two children. But you say by the 14th of March, we know basically if the week we wanted to get into and at Gold, if we didn't like the choices, we would get our refund by March 4th. I mean, if we said, no, we don't want that. If you said, we're going to put you in week 6 or something, we
We
get our
don't put-
refund.
We don't put you in a week that you didn't request. We only,
Oh.
you've made a booking request based on what you're looking for, so we don't put you anywhere unless you've specifically said that. So if you should change your reservation to make sure you only put the dates that you can camp, so that if we get you what you want on March 14th, you're not canceling because you told us you wanted those tents. So we're gonna hold you to that unless you tell us before then that you want a different session.
Now, how do we go on the website to view our what we've requested? Is it there for you to view?
Yes, you can always log into your accounts and view the bookings that you've made already.
All right.
Okay, should a family of 5 with 3 kids and 2 parents then be in a large tent in blue and gold? Not necessarily. The large tents in Oski are the same size as the large tents in blue and gold. So it's really just a matter of, you know, where you want to be if you have friends in a certain camp. There's no one camp that's better than the others. Typically, people who don't know the difference get put into a camp and they think it's the best of the 3. There's a very fierce loyalty at all 3 camps to the camp that people are in. Great questions. And any more? Well, this will be recorded. So if you have any friends that couldn't be here or family members that might be interested, you can go to the website and they can follow along and hear the questions. And again, you can always, we encourage you to reach out to the reservations team. They do a tremendous job of getting groups in together, being creative with your schedules and needs. So please join us this summer. The Lair is back. The 7-night stay went away for a few years after COVID, but we're back to where the Lair started for 70 plus years. And we're excited that you joined us, and we hope to see you this summer. Thank you, everybody. Go Bears.